Hello students, today's topic is going to be factoring x squared plus bx plus c. Students will be able to factor a trinomial in the form of x squared plus bx plus c by finding two binomial factors whose product is equal to the trinomial. Identify patterns in the signs of the coefficients of the terms of a trinomial expression and use those patterns to determine the signs of the second term in the binomial factors. The essential understanding for this lesson is when a trinomial is in the form of x squared plus bx plus c, the factors are found by identifying a pair of integers, factors of c that have a sum of b, and then using the factors to write binomials that have a product equal to the trinomial. Let's take a look at a few examples. Let's see understanding factor trinomial. Okay, let's hear the question in Spanish. And by the way, this is a Spanish week.
A. ¿En qué se relaciona la descomposición de trinomios en factores con la multiplicación de binomios?
Part A. How does factoring a trinomial relate to multiplying binomials?
Let's take a look at the solution. Consider the binomial of product x plus 2 times x plus 3 and the trinomial x squared plus 5x plus 6. Now, as you see here clearly, the b is positive and c is also positive. Now, the product of the second term of the binomials, what happened here? So the product of the second term, which is this second term, of the binomial is equal to the last term of the trinomial. 2 times 3 is equal to 6, as you see here. So it's the product. And also, the sum of the second term of the binomial, so the sum of the second term of the binomial, are the binomials equals to the coefficient of the second term of the trinomial. So 2 plus 3 is 5. Two important things. Again, let me go back. So the product of the second term of the binomials is equal to the last term of the trinomial. So 2 times 3 is equal to 6. And the sum of the terms, 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. So it gives us b. By the conclusion, when factoring a trinomial, we work backwards to try to find the related binomials, factors whose product is equal to the trinomial. So we figure out, so what is the product of the second terms and what is the sum of the second terms. Now, let's take a look here, another example. Let me read. Okay, you see it in Spanish. Let's hear it in English.
Part B. What is the factored form of x squared plus 5 times x plus 6?
Okay, now if we follow the first example, if you take a look here, the second term of the trinomial and the third term of the trinomial. Now, what is the factor that gives us 6? What factors gives us 6? And what adds to 5? So we have to figure out the numbers that factors that gives us 6 and the sum that gives us the second term 5. Let's take a look here, the table. Now, factors of 6, as you see here, factors of 6 is 1 times 6. but this adds up to 7. 1 plus 6 is 7. Another factors of 6 is 2 times 3 and adds up to 5. Now, as you see here, the right numbers, the right factors are 2 and 3 because it gives us the product of 6 and it gives us the sum of 5. Now, if you factor using algebra tiles, the correct factor pair will form a rectangle. Now, some of you students are familiar with algebra tiles, but this is easy way to use the factoring. Now, as you see here, we already factored out because we figured out the numbers here. So x plus 2 times x plus 3, because these were the factors of 6. Okay, if we factor this out, so as we have learned how to factor x times x is x squared, x times 3 is 3x, as you see here, 3 rectangles here. And we multiply the second term of the first binomial. 2 times x is 2x, as you see here, 2 rectangles. And 2 times 3 is 6. So as you see here, the small squares are 6. Now, as you see here, the second x plus 3 times x plus 2, we use different strategy there. The factored form of x squared plus 5x plus 6 is x plus 2 times x plus 3. x plus 2 times x plus 3. The first term of each binomial is x, since x times x is x squared. Now pay attention how we come up with the terms of the trinomial. So this makes always x times x makes us x squared, so the first square. Let's see and check. Now, x plus 2 times x plus 3, as you see here, as we did here, we do the same thing. So we factor, we multiply each product here, and we get x squared plus 3x plus 2x plus 6. You see here, so this is x squared plus 3x, this term here 3x, so this corresponds to this, plus 2x, which are 2 x's here, plus 6 ones, as you see here, 1 squares, plus 6. And it gives us, now we combine like terms. You see 3x plus 2x are like terms, so we combine them. X squared plus 5x plus 6. Now, this is one example that you are going to do it in your Google Docs, as usually we have been doing lately. Now, it says that you understand factor in a trinomial. Write the factored form of each trinomial. Copy the equation, two equations, A and B. Copy the equation and answer the equation on the Google Docs. Let's see the second. Let's go over with another example. Example 2, factor x squared plus bx plus c when b is less than 0 and c is greater than 0, and try it, which is going to be 1 for you. Okay, now in this case, as you see here, as we said, b is less than 0, that means it's negative, so this is the term b, and this is a c, and c is going to be greater than 0, that means it's positive. So we're going to try. Let me translate this in Spanish.
¿Cuál es la forma factorizada de x al cuadrado menos 11 por x más 18?
What is the factored form of x squared minus 11 times x plus 18?
Now, let's see what are the factors of this and how do we figure out that the product of 18, the numbers of that make the product of 18, and the sum of negative 11. So we have to pay attention because we have negative sign. B is less than 0. Let's see the solution. Now, identify a factor pair of 18 that has a sum of negative 11, sum of factors. Now, because B, as I said, because B is negative, and C is positive, inspect only negative signs. So we have to inspect only. So this is a shortcut. You're not going to inspect all the numbers that gives you 18. Of course, we have more numbers that makes the factor, this factor of 18, but we're trying just negatives because these are the shortcuts. Immediately you have to know that when you have when B is negative and C is positive, we have to inspect the only negative signs. Now what happens? What factors are of 18? It's negative 1 and negative 18, because negative 1 times negative 18, it gives us positive 18. And negative 2 and negative 9, which negative 2 and negative times negative 9, it gives us positive 18. And the sum of these factors, negative 1 plus negative 18, it gives us negative 19. And negative 2 plus negative 9, it gives us negative 11. So which are the pairs that we're going to use in this case and gives us the factor of 18 and the sum of negative 11 are the second pair, so negative 2 and negative 9. The factored form for x squared minus 11x plus 18 is x minus 2, as you see, x minus 2 times x minus 9, only these two terms. X minus 2 times x minus 9, as you see here, we distribute now each binomial. So x times x, x times x, x squared, x minus 9 is minus 9x, and negative 2 times x is negative 2x, and negative 2 times negative 9, it gives us positive 18. And now we're not done yet. So as you see, negative 9 and negative 9x and negative 2x are like terms. So we combine the like terms and we have negative 11x. So we bring down x squared minus 11x plus 18. Now try, this is two examples for you guys. Factoring x squared plus bx plus c when b is less than 0 and c is greater than 0. Both cases are negative, b is less than 0 and c is positive, greater than 0. Both cases, you copy the equation and you write the answer on the Google Docs. I'm going to stop here for today, and we're going to post another assignment related to this, but first you finish this, and I wish you guys good luck and don't give up on your work.